Right, so it's another interesting edition of Joy News Interactive, as Efua Harrison told us earlier. Good
yes,
evening.
good evening once again, Israel. Welcome. It's another week and it's time to get interactive. Please join us on facebook.com/Joy News on TV, Twitter @Joy News on TV, and on WhatsApp. Our number is 0560800000. Now let's get on with the rest of our stories. The Bureau of National Investigations is failing to conduct itself according to democratic principles and the rule of law. These are the thoughts of lawyer for the MD of Marbles and Granites, lawyer Nana Eje Bafwewa, who believes the relevance of the BNI in Ghana's security system should be reassessed. This follows the arrest of his client on Friday, Dr. Ayoane, and he was picked up by the BNI for filming and distributing photos of Mahindra vehicles that had been branded in NDC colors, purported to originally be for the National Commission for Civic Education. Now, we're about to check out your reactions to the story on Facebook. Israel, what are people saying about this story?
Okay, so I'll start with Nung says, it is clear that you can kill yourself for mankind, but they still will never appreciate your efforts. If BNI relaxes and things go bad, the same people will say BNI are not doing their work. What else do people want the BNI as an organization? Specialized in security matters. There's some politicized security issues. It starts like a joke, then it becomes serious. Kakra Solomon says, some of the issues are very trivial for BNI to come in. It's like killing an ant with a mallet. BNI is supposed to protect us, not to hunt us. After all, they are being paid with the very people they are hunting taxes. BNI should not always dance to the tune of the ruling government. Amadou Ndebugre says, in Ghana, any institution that is trying to do its work is always tagged as political. I fear for our motherland. Francis says, but if it's true that his client really did what he's been arrested for, it's really bad. Because where in Nigeria can a Ghanaian do that and still be alive to even take a lawyer to defend him? Nan Thomas says, the BNI has turned into a mouthpiece of the government to violate the rights of the ordinary Ghanaian instead of making sure they protect those rights. The BNI are not to be trusted at all because of the conduct of the operations. Naya Sapon says, yes, they are truly abusing the authority. I think they shouldn't undermine their integrity by involving themselves in these kind of issues like disobeying court orders and the likes. Ghana, God help Ghana. Shiftman says, almost every state institution has become lawless because the president himself doesn't respect our laws. NDC is a disease, you say. Bernard says, I can't comment on because I don't want to be picked up by the BNI. And Chandel says, hey, may God save our mother Ghana. Adam Stallam says, he should know better and go test the law in court. He should spare yes.
Barry Makubaji Njinijini says that someone taking photos of a private property and falsely claiming they belong to the state, the NCC in this case, thereby creating enmity, courting public outrage and pitching the people against government doesn't qualify as an offense, is simply so absurd. The gentleman was even spared. Let those who continue to clutch to straws keep wallowing in their self-created dungeons. Okay. This one is from Lottie Jones. It's saying that the thing is true. The Mahindra vehicles were there live and colored and were driven midnight as soon as the story came up. Akrofo Okrum. As for the BNI, Tria, Chalmeda cases are on their dockets. Up till now, the culprits are walking free. Taking to BNI, too shameful. This one is from Lottie Jones in Tema. This one is from Lectures in Who. Yes, it has been a while, Lectures, who says issues of this nature should be critical or should be critical notice. Okay, that's Lectures in Who. And this one is from John Yakubu, who is watching the show in Kumasi, who says, for now, the BNI is becoming lawless, making them lose their respect. So those are some of your comments on this issue. Now let's move on to another story on a lighter note. Well, I shouldn't say it's light, actually. It's not light, okay. So another story that came up over the weekend, probably a bride's worst nightmare. Israel, have you heard about the wedding?
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
In Takrady.
Exactly.
Yes.
I heard of it, and I was wondering, okay, so you said, well, you got people out there to go ask. What will you do if you were the bride? What will you do if you were the bride?
Probably faint as well. You know, wedding celebrations were cut short for a couple when the groom was arrested by police for allegedly robbing a Chinese small-scale mine of 18,000 Ghana cedis. And it happened just before they were about to exchange the rings too. Been speaking to the ladies today and asking them how they would react.
Honestly, like, I'll just die at that moment because I don't know what to do. Like, hey, wedding day. I'll just let me just die so that, or we'll all go to prison. Like, I don't know. I think I'll just die.
What about you?
I don't know, but I think for me, I'll just go mad because I can't stand it. You get it? I don't know, I'll just go mad.
I don't want to be embarrassed, so I'll just leave to hide somewhere and cool myself down and later follow up or something.
It will be a very embarrassing moment for me. So I'll just calm my nerves down and then follow my husband to wherever they are taking him to and find out in details what really happened. And if there's more to it, I'll just find out. Because if I stay in the church premises, people are going to ask me, so do you know about your husband being a thief? Do you know they were coming to arrest him? Like, questions will be in, like, people asking you questions. So I wouldn't like to find myself in that position to stay for people to ask me. I'll just follow my husband to wherever they are taking him to.
The first reaction obviously would be shock, but personally I would follow my husband with the police and everything and go to the police station and, you know, find out what is going on, what happened, and really hear from his side as well as with the side of the police.
It was me. I'll do something more than I think I'll commit suicide because I can't just take this kind of embarrassment. And it's like, it'll be like, nah, I can't leave it.
I don't think I'll fall in love again. I'm not sure. Because it's, nah.
Oh, as for me, I'll keep quiet because I leave it to God. God is my help. I know that God can do so many things about my life.
I'll be disappointed and definitely I'll do exactly what she did, like collapsing or fainting or something.
I can collapse. I can collapse. You know, maybe unconscious for some time, but it will only take some time to realize that this is true.
At that instant, I'm going to collapse because it's something I've been planning of doing. It's my dream come true. And I've met the right person and this happened. I will be shocked.
Well, actually, I can't really say, but logically, the thing that will come to my mind is proof. Did he actually do it? I would want to know.
Maybe I'll go by the side, talk to him, want to know. They also want to know the police side. Then we'll all go to the station and talk about it.
It almost sounds like a movie, doesn't it?
Well, for me, I'd say, well, you can tell the people right there and then that, okay, please hold on. I'm sure it's a case of mistaking identity, and then we're going to resolve this.
When the guys are taking the guy out.
Yeah, so you're going to say, okay, so I'm sure it's a case of mistaking identity. I don't know about any of this. Just hold on. In fact, enjoy the pastries and the food and drinks. I'll be back. And then you go with your partner.
Before we take Facebook comments, Michael Ba is giving us some inside scoop. I don't know how true this is, so let me just put it out there. We can't confirm this information, but he says what the lady wants is what she had. I learned she pressured the guy to speed up their marriage process without any background checks. Ladies, just shine your eyes. So this one is from Michael Van. What are people saying on Facebook? And the question on Facebook is a bit different than what we asked out there on the streets, because on Facebook I think we asked how well you know your partner.
All right. No. What would you do? Okay. On when we hit the streets, we asked them what would you do? But here it's how well you know your partner. But people are actually a lot of them
just commenting on the story.
Just commenting on the story. And citizen says Ghana police and foolishness. Why not arrest him earlier or even after the wedding in an event where he is innocent? What will be his compensation? And Matrine says, just by name that appears on the national ID. So she's I'm sure she's a lady, she's answering the question just by how well do you know your partner? Yeah. And she says, just by the name that appears on the national
identification
Noon
card.
says, the world is a strange place where strange things happen. How will the lady feel? It's terrible. Drafo says, I invariably advise my clients that before they will marry, they should go do thorough investigations about each other before they set on the journey. Gone were the days when your parents take it as a duty to ascertain if for you, but not today. Now, just a month or two, you see people marrying as if by 1 mile journey. Garrison says, wrong time. The effect on others can be traumatizing. The fact that somebody has been arrested does not prove him guilty. What if he is later found to be not guilty? The damage is already done. They could have done this before or after the wedding day. And then a few others are asking, why not after the wedding? Wala says, listening to all the ladies, and Mahadi says that's embarrassing.
So as they are walking down the aisle, and then they just come and whisk him away. But maybe this will save her.
Oh, no.
I mean, what if she decides that, you know, she's not going to go through with the wedding again because, hey, he's a thief?
Well, I mean, and at that point, you couldn't conclude anything. Like I said, it could be a case of mistaking identity. Maybe the police really don't have evidence, and the story may come out to be something else.
I have a lot of comments on WhatsApp. Let me take a few and quickly go for a break. This one is from Bambakaya Samed in Fumbisi. He says, for me, I will manage and follow him to the police station and spit in his face and say, Tria! Ashongman in Ali from Ashongman says, I will slap one of the policemen intentionally and pretend I'm mad. Hey! Okay, this one is from BG in Kaswa, who says, you could see on the groom's face that he was not ready to marry. Maybe he stole the money for the wedding. Someone's BG in Kumasi, and we had photos of the groom over the weekend. This one says, I can't even marry because I have not paid a single penny. I haven't been paid a single penny after teaching for 4 years. My first wife even left me because of that. And this one is from Omar. Oh, Omar, sorry. And this one says, I think the lady should follow him to wherever they are sending him to. If I am the lady, I'll follow him wherever they are sending him to. So these are some of the comments coming through on WhatsApp. After the break, your views on the pastor who claims to have gone to heaven and has the pictures to prove it. Thanks for staying with us on the interactive segment. Now, there's a story on our Facebook page that is getting a lot of attention. A South African prophet, Imboro, has come out to say he was taken to heaven during Easter Sunday service and returned the same day. Now, guess what Prophet Imboro says he has? He has the pictures to prove it. So, where are the pictures, you may ask? Well, the prophet spokesman says you can get a glimpse of heaven for $340. That's 5,000 South African rand, and you can get the photos sent to you via WhatsApp. Oh, and then Israel photos include a selfie with Jesus and some famous angels. Israel, why are you laughing? I'm making me laugh.
So I'm imagining a situation where what? He goes, he sees Jesus and says, I beg, let me take one selfie with you. Then they go like this. Then he takes the photos.
Why don't we pay for the photos?
So this one, I'm going to make, $1 million shillings from that.
It's gotten a lot of comments.
Oh yeah, it is. Pretty engaging post. We've had 190 shares since we put out the story. And we put out the story about 3 hours ago. So here it goes. Well, let's look at the prophet's face again. This is the prophet. Yeah. And Senior Bele says, hey, does Obinim have another branch in Kenya or what? If not, then this could be Obinim in Kenya. Selfie with Jesus, pa. Lexus Link says, hey, how long did his phone battery last in? Or he charged it over there. What is the distance from
It was full from here and he went.
What's the distance from earth to heaven? Michael says, in fact, Obini must hear this. Someone is taking selfies with his Father Jesus Law, Incredible Ministries Church. Kojo Asan says, hey, we are in interesting times in the pictures of heaven available to the public at a cost. Did he pay to take those photos with Christ and the angels? Our pastor, he should be immediately arrested for fraud and false claims. Since when did we start paying to view so-called pictures of heaven? Gabriel says, this is the most unrealistic word I have ever heard from a so-called pastor prophet, and I advise anyone attending his church to be aware of the end time. Kennedy says, what heaven? Jesus said he will come to pick us and take us to his Father, not us to portray fictions of him. We have the word of God by the Bible, and it is perfect. Kweku says, the same people who believe in this heaven and hell don't believe it when you say you went there, because heaven or hell doesn't sound real.
Sure, let me take some WhatsApp comments. So many messages coming through. John Yakubu from Kumasi says, hey, these pastors are now going to heaven with phones, while it is written that we came with nothing and shall return with nothing. Tria, do you know Jesus Apu? And this one is from Vincent in Ashaiman, who says, Wallahi, this man is a thief and should be arrested. What is this? Pity his church members. God save us. This one says, this pastor is not serious. These are signs of the end time. Anyway, which bus did he go with? He went to the Angel Express. Okay, he didn't add your name or location. BG in Kaswa says, this story just made my night. Wow, selfie with Jesus. Oh, Christianity is now a joke. And then he has a smiley face in there. And then last one, he asks, did this pastor die and go to heaven with a camera, or there were cameramen in heaven? If you can get this pastor, arrest him for misleading people. Maybe we should actually send the $340 and see if we really get some pictures. Well, and then we can sue him.
It will be interesting to see if anybody has gotten those photos, actually. I mean, but people are asking how he got there. Well, I guess he just went spiritual.
This one is asking whether he used a parachute or a spaceship.
He just went spiritual.
Yes, of course, spiritual. And that's it for the interactive segment. Thank you so much for sending in your comments. Enjoy the rest of your evening. My name is Ifwa Akwa Harrison.